Before we start, I'd just like to ask, how in the fuck is this bitch still famous? I liked it in Harry Potter, but hearing Daniel Radcliffe need to Paul Walker himself into a tree. I'll even volunteer my car. At least the ginger one had the decency to stop being relevant some time ago. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. Oh, right. Good for him. Today, Emma Watson explains why men have trouble with feminism, something she understands all too well. As a young boy, Emma used to contemplate feminism from a high horse, using her silver spoon and private education to really relate to the average hard-working man. Emma has a lot of experience with men. Her butler was a man, her private tutor was a man, her nanny was a man, her first sexual abuser was a man. He was also her father, but anyway. So, what I'm trying to say is, isn't it about time she joined the 27 Club? Come on, Hermione. Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, and that little weird Russian guy from the new Star Trek are all standing at the pearly gates with a sock full of batteries and a bone to pick. Time to call it quits, bitch.
People know you for He for She,
yes.
The United Nations Solidarity Movement, bringing men into feminism. What's the latest with that program? What can you tell us about where that is?
I didn't say anything.
What I would really love to focus on is there's a lot of missing data in
feminism, the feminist logic, and the arguments of anyone from said ideological grouping. That's what you were going to say, right?
That we have about women and girls, and there's a lot of these gaps that I'd love to try and fill.
I've got some gaps I'd like to fill too. The gap between my brick and your face.
And get some more information on, because when you can show the data on something, it makes something visible, and you know it's very difficult to treat a problem that you just don't have.
Like what kind of problem?
Gosh, everything from sexual violence to FGM.
FGM, for anyone who doesn't know, stands for female genital mutilation, or as Charlie Sheen likes to call it, Wednesday.
To literacy rates, to everything really. Often because we often don't measure a lot of things that happen within what we consider to be the private sphere.
I'm just thinking back to all the amazing celebrities we've lost over the years and all the awful ones we haven't.
So this year, I really want to focus on statistics and information and data collection.
Great, let's talk statistics. Over 75% of suicide victims are male, which is noted as the biggest killer of males under 45 in the UK. Women are 35% more likely to go to university, and if current trends continue, then in 18 years women will be more than 75% more likely to go to university, more likely to be hired after university. 74% of teachers are female. Over 80% of US males are circumcised. That's some MGM for you right there. And court statistics. I'll let you Google them yourself. You're not complete morons unless you're a feminist, in which case it could go either way. Don't get me wrong, in certain areas some women have some pretty worrying statistics too. I'm not denying that at all, but there are enough people already talking about them and not enough people talking about these. This feminist mentality has fucked more little girls than Mark Salling from Glee.
What do you think is like the primary blind spot that guys have about this movement? About feminism, about doing the right thing? Just what is it that we're not seeing?
I think the word is really difficult because it seems to inherently suggest a preferential treatment of the feminine over the masculine because it has the feminine in the word. And I think that's a real oversight and a misunderstanding.
Well, the word itself has nothing to do with male rights. The Oxford definition is as follows: the advocacy of women's rights on the ground of equality of the sexes. And although I agree women should have equal rights and opportunity, socially speaking, that's not what the word aims for. Is it now, Emma, you silly misinformed little Brit?
Rather than just basic fairness.
Rather than just gender, just gender equality across the board. This isn't girls are better than boys, boys are better than girls. This is just everyone deserves a fair chance at whatever it is.
Pretty sure I've covered this before, but one more time for those at the back. The word you're looking for is egalitarianism. The Oxford definition of this is the doctrine that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. You can't just make up a new definition for a word because you can't find one that fits. Don't you have a degree in English literature? Who did you sleep with to get that? That was disrespectful and immature. I mean, made love.
If I were to say I was a feminist, it would be a personal attack on you as a man, as opposed to a patriarchal system or something much larger than an individual person.
No, the attack on men is when you claim a patriarchal system when in the UK the 5 most powerful people are all women. Employment rates for women have soared over the years and dropped for men. Would you like a shovel for all that shit you're talking, or are you just going to leave it on the floor so you can roll around in it later?
I think also men think that they can't be feminists. That's a big misunderstanding. Some of the best feminists I know are men.
Why do you think they feel they can't? Like that's not masculine if you're a feminist?
Yeah, that it's not masculine if you're feminist.
Let's see. If I try to appear less manly to you, maybe I'll be more comfortable with feminism. Right. I wear moisturizer. It makes my skin look dreamy, feel soft, and as soon as I hit a sun ray, I glow like that snowy vampire looking fellow from Twilight. Nope. Feminism still sucks.
That only women can be feminists because it's about, again, it comes back down to that misunderstanding of
to the word. It is feminine, so I can't be.
Yeah, so I can't touch that. I like to joke about the man box.
Somebody needs to put you in a box.
Which is like, you can only be a man if you fulfill these certain qualities and you stay within this square of like, you're in your man box and you're safe in the man box. And something about, for some men, about going near feminism is a step out of the man box.
Stop saying man box! And I'm back. But what you said is still bullshit. Although I agree that there are a select few men who try to appear manly by purposely liking things they think men should, it's still more of a woman's opinion on men than a man's one. They have their ideas of what manly is, and sometimes men don't meet it. For example, I know a guy who was approached by another man when he was out with his girlfriend drinking one night. Instead of handling this like a barbarian and fighting the other guy, he walked away. Probably not at that level myself, but one day I'll be there. A few days later, she ended it with him, and when he asked one of her friends why, can you guess the reason? Yep. Wasn't manly enough. Something this girl later confirmed to him in a text. Things like this happen more often than you think. That's why I only date dead people.
Because they know it's just so fragile. It's just
going
to fall apart.
I know, it's going to fall apart.
They need to hold that box
identity
together.
Structure,
Can we all just take a second to appreciate how brave this man's choice of wardrobe was today? That is a man who doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Definitely, and I really sense that. And also, no one likes to feel that there's blame attached to that word, and I think that's very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, women keep blaming men for shit they usually have no control over. Feminism is a mixture of self-victimization and disproportional misdirected blame that relies on flawed data sets and suspiciously high levels of testosterone. This is why I rooted for Voldemort for 11 years. Again, there are issues that women have, but this is an example of one of the main problems. People listen to this waste of oxygen whore and think, wow, she's right. Feminism is not just about women. Why don't men understand that it's about women's and men's right? Then talk about some male issues for a change. Why is that so hard? You wanna know why? Let me toe-splain. Here logic is too simple and too underdefined, and I'm not just saying this because the happy place in my head just happens to be me pouring a few gallons of concrete over a still living body. This genuinely is nonsense. Though I did watch the new Beauty and the Beast film and she wasn't too bad. Neither was the Beauty. This is why people need to listen to academics and not celebrities. This is why people need to educate themselves instead of reading New Look or whatever the fuck this bitch has signed up to, or listening to this nonsense interview and getting their opinions from it. Hopefully she goes to sleep and doesn't wake up again. Until next time. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and if you didn't like the video, feel free to leave a dislike, and maybe subscribe anyway so you can dislike me some more in the future. And if you agree or disagree with what I said, tell me why in the comments. I don't bite. That's a whole other body part. Peace.